I'm Mackenzie Cowan, a local sales consultant in Southwest Florida.
And I'm Josh Cowan, a local real estate agent here located in Southwest Florida.
And we are a married couple that relocated here from the Midwest. So what we're going to talk about today is what it's like to relocate to Southwest Florida and really our story. And if this is something that interests you and you want to see what it's like to relocate to Southwest Florida as well, go ahead and subscribe and click like on our channel. Click the little bell so that time you'll be dinged every single time we have another video about what it's like to live in Southwest Florida and Fort Myers specifically. So where do we begin, Josh, on the journey of relocating to Southwest Florida?
Well, big ones are location, jobs, and location.
So one thing that we noticed, my parents personally were snowbirds in Southwest Florida, and we noticed that we were taking a lot of our hard-earned vacation time to always come back to the same place. So we were always drawn back here, and it wasn't just to see family, but because we really enjoyed spending time here. So part of our story really comes from us wanting to be here year-round rather than spend all of our vacation time in Florida and actually spend vacation time going elsewhere in the world. So traveling locally, traveling nationally and globally. So we did decide to take the plunge. We came from a real estate background in Indiana from the Midwest and decided to take that down to Southwest Florida as well. I am currently working in new home sales, and Josh, you can tell them what you're doing.
Yeah, so currently working in the real estate industry. Obviously, I can deal with not just new homes, but existing homes and answer any questions you guys have about the Southwest area.
Correct. So you can actually help with general real estate. So if anyone's buying or selling a new or old home, the Josh would be your guy. So part of our story, we decided to actually build new coming down here, so I can kind of tell them what we decided to do, where we decided to live, as opposed to renting.
Yeah, so, like I said earlier, the location was something that was big for us. Every time we visited, we always spent our time with the family and where they lived, those neighborhoods, and for me, it just didn't feel right. Like just wasn't what I was looking for as far as being willing to relocate.
So what we decided to do as opposed to renting, because when we were looking at options to move down here, we really fell in love with the new construction neighborhood. We really enjoyed the idea of living in a resort style community. So we decided to build new, and what you will find right now with new construction is in some locations there are wait lists, there are bidding processes, and there's also an extended period of time. So what used to be about a 5 to 6 month build process is now 8 to 9 to 12 month process. So rather than renting a place and spending, I think it was maybe about $25,000 a year just for renting an apartment,
Yep.
We decided to buy a condo. So it's actually a townhome.
Yep. There are multiple things that went into that decision. The biggest thing is with us, having not just kids, but pets. The apartment life just wasn't something that would really fit us. Mm-hmm. And we looked at quite a few options, but ultimately once you start crunching the numbers, once you find something that could work for you, it really just makes sense to go ahead and buy a townhome or a condo. That
Right.
way then while your house is being built, that money that you're paying every month, part of that is actually being invested, and you'll get that return upon selling it. Or you can keep the property, something that we thought about as well as just having it as an investment property after the fact.
Right, so that's right now that's our plan. We felt like it made the most sense for us to buy the townhome and then build a house, and our kids right now are very young, so not even preschool age yet, so we're not really worried about the school system that we're currently in quite yet. I know that could be a factor for some people, that's not something we had to consider. There were a variety of different daycare centers around, though, that we could definitely take advantage of if and when we need to. And as far as just having a new lifestyle as a family, that's been huge, a completely different, shift in lifestyle. So what we tried to do is spend time exploring new places once we got down here. We've even, made it a point to try to go to Fort Myers Beach and check out different restaurants along the way, because I am notorious for always going back to the same restaurant and ordering the same thing every single time. So definitely like to explore, and not just within Fort Myers, but even outside the city, because we're only 2 hours away from another city that's big like Miami. So it's really a fun place to be centrally located.
Yes. And the logistics to moving down here is something else I want to talk about, because depending on where you're coming from, it could be a very long move or it could just be a little short move. But for us, coming from the Midwest, it was over 1,000 miles, and it definitely took some investigating, looking into things, and going off of our situation as well, building a home and trying to get all of our stuff here, but currently owning a townhome. The best thing for us was to put a majority of our stuff in storage. And then you start looking at storage back home compared to Florida. And in Florida, you got to deal with the humidity quite a bit, and back in the Midwest, it's not really that big of an issue. So it's actually, more cost effective to go ahead and just store that stuff back home in a larger storage unit. It's not climate controlled, because you don't have to worry about that. And then on top of that, since it's not climate controlled, it's not inside, you're not having to move your stuff inside, up elevators on the 3rd or 4th floor, just so you can have a climate controlled unit.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was just trying to figure out moving. There are so many different options out there, different companies, from being able to sit here and pack everything up in your whole house, drive it down here, they'll even store it for you. And then when you call them up, they'll then come pick it up and drop it off at your location and unload it and unpack it for you if that's what you wanted.
On that same note, one thing that we decided to do was list our home in the Midwest. We're from Indiana, so we listed our home in Indiana and decided to keep all of our furniture and decorations in Indiana to keep the home staged, because you may or may not know, staging is really important when it comes to real estate and trying to get the biggest bang for your buck. So what we did was, when we purchased the condo, was really take the bare necessities and then do a lot of Amazoning. So Amazon some other essentials and some other furniture pieces, and then even getting some things from, some local consignment stores, like our couch. So our actual couches, it wasn't something that we brought right away. So that's just something that you could consider doing as well, rather than trying to figure out a place for everything. Just make it easier on yourself when you relocate. Maybe store some things close to your current home, and then get some temporary items that aren't, the expensive dream furniture right now, but just make do until you get into the place that you really love.
Yeah, it was definitely a peace of mind being able to just make a short trip back home to the storage unit, unload everything. And then my long drive down here was in my personal vehicle, that I didn't have to worry about a moving truck or anything right now. That's got to be down the road, and I don't have to go get it until our house is built and ready to go. Yeah, and so that's our story about our transition down here to Florida. You have any sort of questions as far as relocating from anywhere down to the southwest part of Florida, any questions about the area around here, feel free to reach out to us.
We would be more than happy to answer any and all questions, no matter if it's regarding new construction, which I can help with, or if it's something with an existing home, whether that would be first-time home buyer all the way up to your luxury market in Southwest Florida. I'm sure Josh would be more than happy to help you. So please feel free to subscribe and click like on our channel, so that way you can stay in touch and watch more videos of Southwest Florida lifestyle.